They broke every law that governs this dimension. Not man's law, not your law. The laws written into the fabric of existence itself, and the universe is not slow, it is precise. The law. Every action generates a returning force equal in nature and magnitude. What they broke: deliberate, sustained psychological harm, gaslighting, smear campaigns, isolation, financial abuse, emotional exploitation. The sentence they wrote: a life of increasing isolation as the mask erodes. Every person they harm eventually becomes unavailable to them. The circle tightens, the supply dries. What they inflicted becomes the atmosphere they inhabit. You don't have to chase justice, you have to get out of the way of it. Section 2. The Law of Divine Oneness. The law. All beings are expressions of one source. To harm another is to harm the whole and the self. What they broke: treated other human beings as objects, as supply, as props in their personal production. The sentence they wrote: a profound and growing disconnection from source energy, spiritual numbness, an interior emptiness that no amount of external supply can fill, because the channel through which fulfillment flows has been severed by their own repeated violations. They are not winning, they are hollowing. Section 3. The Law of Vibration. The law. Everything carries a frequency. Like attracts like. You cannot sustain a frequency you have not earned. What they broke: performed high vibration qualities, empathy, generosity, charm, as a mask over a low-frequency core of envy, contempt, and predation. The sentence they wrote: the mask becomes unsustainable. The performance collapses under its own energetic cost. What they attract begins to mirror their actual frequency, not the performed one. The caliber of people, opportunities, and environments around them degrades over time. Frequency cannot be faked indefinitely. Section 4. The Law of Correspondence. The law. As within, so without. The external life reflects the internal state. What they broke: built an external life on fabrication, false identity, manufactured reputation, performed relationships. The sentence they wrote: an external life that begins to crack and mirror the interior chaos they refuse to address. Relationships built on performance crumble. Reputations constructed on lies require constant, exhausting maintenance. The architecture of a false life is inherently unstable. What is built on sand cannot stand. Section 5. The Law of Free Will and Sacred Consent. The law. Every sovereign being has the right to truth, autonomy, and informed choice. To manipulate is to steal another's free will. What they broke: love bombing, manufactured confusion, and deliberate deception, all designed to make the target bond without informed consent. The sentence they wrote: their own free will becomes increasingly compromised. Compulsive behavioral patterns. Inability to form genuine connection. Trapped inside a persona they can never set down. The thief of freedom becomes its own prisoner. You cannot steal sovereignty without losing your own. Section 6. The Law of Rhythm. The law. Everything moves in cycles. What rises falls. What falls rises. No state is permanent. What they broke: use cycles of idealization and devaluation to keep targets destabilized, weaponizing natural emotional rhythms. The sentence they wrote: their own cycle accelerates and tightens. The highs of narcissistic supply become shorter. The crashes become harder. The mask requires more effort for less return. The rhythm they weaponized against others becomes the rhythm that governs their own unraveling. The pendulum swings for everyone. Section 7. The Law of Truth. Divine Law of Ma'at. Kemetic. The law. Truth is the foundation of cosmic order. Deception against an innocent soul is a violation of divine law, recorded and weighed. What they broke: systematic, sustained deception against people who came in good faith. The sentence they wrote: in Kemetic tradition, the heart is weighed against the feather of Ma'at, a heart heavy with deliberate deception, cruelty, and violation of the innocent cannot pass. Spiritually, what was taken through deception cannot be kept. It dissolves. It returns. The record exists whether they acknowledge it or not. The scales do not require your belief to function. You were not abandoned by justice. You were simply ahead of its timeline. Every law they broke, wrote a sentence, they are already serving, whether it looks like it yet or not. Your only assignment was never to punish them. It was to survive, to heal, to rise so completely that their orbit can no longer reach you. Justice is not yours to carry. It was never yours to carry. Set it down. You are free. If you needed to hear that the universe actually keeps the score, drop scales in the comments. The laws were always working, even when you couldn't see it, especially then. Karma isn't a concept. It's a law. Here are every spiritual law narcissists violate, and exactly what they sentence themselves to. And is sure to comment, like, share, and follow your tribe of alchemists.